Hello, my name is Professor Dr. Wolfgang Georg Arndt. I'm the CEO of COTRI, China Outbound Tourism Research Institute, and this is the editorial of the COTRI Weekly of 20th of April 2021, which has the headline, Beggar the Neighbor or Regional Cooperation, What Will It Be? The Future of Meaningful Tourism. We probably all know stories about hotels in the same city or adjoining destinations who would rather suffer themselves than helping their competitors, rather go hungry themselves than granting the neighbor to eat a juicy steak. The advantages of cooperation or the game theory ideal of co-opetition have been discussed since decades. Nevertheless, for example, in the north of Germany, where COTRI is located and where I'm now sitting in Hamburg, the different provinces are spending a good part of their tourism marketing budgets in tugs of war, trying to snatch market share from their neighbors, who also offer beach holidays, with more energy than trying to attract new markets. A marketing cooperation organization for all northern provinces in Germany to work especially with intercontinental markets exists, but the budget of this organization is pitifully small. Another example, I listened to speeches by marketing experts in Portugal who concentrated all their energy on the question how to avoid Chinese visitors to even think about visiting besides Portugal, also Spain in the same trip, when actually most Chinese do that. Or mentioning another example, after the German reunification in 1990, the DMOs representing the former East German and the former West German part of the Harz, a hilly hiking and skiing area, which was divided by the German border before in the middle, bad-mouthed each other for a long time and avoided to be unified as one organization to promote the whole area for almost a decade. In the post-pandemic world, tourism will need to bury the infighting if a more sustainable form of tourism, meaningful tourism as we call it, is to be achieved. This is not just the conviction of your humble editor, but also the core of statements of two important thought leaders of global tourism. There's, on the one hand, Pansy Ho, the remarkable Group Executive Chairman and Managing Director of Chuntak Holdings Limited, running a lot of transportation units in Macau and Hong Kong, and hotels and casinos, and many more. She has been speaking in preparation of the PATA Annual Summit 2021, which will take place on April 29th, so in a week from now. And she had this to say, and I quote, "A competitive and resilient global tourism economy will rely not only on cooperation and improved dialogue between the private and public sectors, but also on the realization of cross-sectoral partnerships that result in high quality and sustainable tourism development." The other thought leader to quote I have the pleasure is Dr. Taleb Rifai, the Secretary General of World Tourism Forum Institute and the former Secretary General of United Nations World Tourism Organization, who was speaking at the Tourism Business Retention and Expansion webinar in Durban last week. And he connected his thoughts directly with the ways out of the current pandemic. And I quote, "Countries will have to work together if tourism is to recover. One country cannot insist on quarantine while its neighbor demands a vaccination passport and a third country simply requires 72 hours testing before arrival or at entry points. We do not want to turn this into a political game of those who have and those who have not. We will all lose if we do so. Fewer numbers may travel to a non-vaccinated destination, and no vaccinated destination would accept receiving anyone from a non-vaccination destination. Travel is about connecting everybody everywhere, unquote. Wise words indeed. Travelers do not care much about administrative borders, and why should they? They see destinations as units of interest. So is this the region which offers Corona Borealis northern lights in winter? Never mind if it is Finland or Sweden. Or is this the wine and olive growing belt in Southern Europe? Never mind it's Spain or France or Italy. Or my interest is in visiting the hometowns of the famous classical composers. That's for many Chinese interesting topic. Even so, many Chinese actually think that Mozart was a German and Pablo Picasso, the painter, was from France. Visa restrictions or closed borders creating unnecessary problems, as recently is unfortunately the case, are colorful examples of the dangers of a lack of cooperation, as Pansy Ho and Tal Griffith spelled them out, as I just quoted. Therefore, always an optimist, I see the future for meaningful tourism and for cooperation among service providers, as this is in the interest of the satisfaction of both the guests and the host. So, as we used to say, may the force be with you. As usual, my best wishes to all of you from me and from the whole COTRI Weekly team. And wait a minute, there is a PS to that. As has been mentioned before, I had the honor and the pleasure to work under the leadership of Tal Griffith as the founding dean of the HATT Business School Institute of the WTFI. The official opening of HATT BSI will take place, so you guessed it, in the form of a webinar in a few weeks from now. So stay tuned for further news. You will hear it from, as they say, the horse's mouth right here. Again, all the best. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.